This is Steve O'Connell with the New Money Fight Club, and I am here with the new featherweight champion of SF Combat, Andrew Campos. But he ain't just the featherweight champion of SF Combat. He's a lights out featherweight champion. He's a Dragon House champion. This is probably the most dominant featherweight I think we've got in the amateur division on the West Coast right now. Thank you for joining us today, brother.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So you went against Benny Salas right there. Benny won the belt last time. He was here to defend it. He comes from the Resistance, a great team, a real warrior, and you starched him in the first round. Incredible boxing. Was that the game plan going in?
My game plan was to box, yeah. That's my bread and butter. I love boxing. That's been my day one, so that's my go-to. Boxing, and honestly, everything, bro. I'm a mixed martial arts fighter, but boxing is definitely what I love the most.
I could see it right away. You know, Benny was trying to throw the kicks, and you had your distance under control right away and your jab, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yep. That's what we're good at.
Well, you know, and I'm a little partial, too, because I know your coach. I study from him, too, Coach Clint. I could see that tech training in there, you know. I mean, tell me a little bit about what it's like working with him day after day.
Well, I've trained with so many coaches. I've been at AK for a year now. It's actually a year this month. So I've been working with Clint, Ron Kessler. All those guys have been helping me improve my game so much. But, yeah, no, Clint's boxing is definitely, like, second to none, for sure. World class.
Yeah, and it showed. You were able to go in there against the champ, and a really decorated, a fantastic kickboxer, a fantastic mixed martial arts fighter, and you just seemed to figure him out with your jab right away.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of just flowing. I'm not really thinking too much in there. I'm just kind of just let it go. I find the flow state, and whatever happens will happen. But I definitely get in the flow state, and then, and whatever happens, we'll go from there. But definitely in boxing, like I said, it's my bread and butter, so I'm definitely going to use that, like, first right away.
1 year ago, you had no belts. Now he's got 3 belts. What's next for you, man?
So a year ago, I made my debut. I was nobody, right? And it's been 10 months since my first fight here. 10 months. It hasn't even been a year, bro. It hasn't even been a year. It's been 10 months, and I have 3 belts, and I'm like one of the top 10 fighters in California right now. So maybe I'll turn pro. Maybe I'll have one more. We'll see. It would be cool to fight on the Amateur Worlds, the IMF. You know the.
Yes. Yeah.
That's something I really want to do. So if anybody out there can make that happen, please. I want to prove I'm one of the best amateur fighters in the world before I turn pro. That would be actually very nice to go to the IMF.
Well, the trials for it are the middle of March in Big Bear.
Oh, is that right? I didn't even know. How could I get on? Could you get me on that, bro? If you could get me
I might know Coach Chad George at CMMA a little bit, who's running it. I could put in a good word for you.
I would love to prove that I'm one of the best fighters in the world. That would make sense for me. If not, maybe turn pro, because, I mean, nothing else makes sense. But if I could do that, bro, if you could hook it up, oh, my God, I'll love you.
That window is right now, and once you go pro, you can't fight, in the IMMAF. So that is a really fucking good idea, man. Maybe what else can you do? You got all the belts.
Yeah, no, exactly. I already proved I'm one of the best in California, so it only makes sense to go fight one of the best in the world. So, yeah. Yep.
Brother, this fight's almost over. We're almost done with the night. An amazing co-main event. One thing I want to ask you is, I always hear in your post-fight interviews after you win that you really turned your whole life around to God. Just speak on that just real quick for us, folks, so we know how you came out of the shadows and now holding all these belts.
I mean, just like everybody else, I was watching porn, I was smoking weed. I mean, these are the things that we struggle with, like, especially young men watching porn, like, I mean, you could say you don't watch it, but everybody's watched it before, you know what I'm saying? But I really kind of just, I knew if I wanted to experience God's grace, I had to give that up completely. I had to give that up, and I did, and I feel God is working in my life now. I feel Him every day with me. I wake up and I pray. I don't even have food in the morning. I wake up and I pray and I feed my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Before I feed my flesh, I feed my spirit. And then, honestly, since I've given my life to God, all my sessions getting better, my sparring, everything has gone so much better since I've just since I just gave my whole life to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I encourage you guys to try it. Read the New Testament. Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Read the first 4 Gospels of the New Testament, and you really get to see who Jesus is and what He did and how He lived as a person. And once I kind of got to know Jesus a little better, my life started changing for sure. Yeah.
Brother, I want to talk to you more. I got to get in the cage right now. Thank you so much. You really earned these belts, brother, and thank you for sharing these deep parts of your life.
I appreciate it.
Andrew Campos, the new featherweight champ.